Yo, 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 what is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again. Gonna be actually doing a little bit of a deep dive here into some of the new Season 3 releases. And again, this is from like the KBK Season 3, so we're gonna be seeing some new Lord Talons. I'm gonna actually go over the new seasonal event, and we're gonna take a look at some of the new Epic Immortals that have come out. Just kind of give some thoughts and sharings. Before, as always, we do start weirdly said right there. Make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell, and of course, if you are interested in being a part of our conversation, join our Discord. You can find that in the pinned comment and description down below. Okay, so let me start off first with going over, I'm just going to knock out the seasonal event here. So I wanted to touch on, right, we're on day 4 of this right now. A lot of these are actually not that, I think, challenging overall to capture, right? We kind of have the standard 5-day, the ways that you can get the goddess gift, right, which is pretty standard, the gathering, collecting, defeating gnomes and bosses. And then we get to the task portion here, which some of these ones, right, you do the standard logins, you'll see here gathering resources. Oh, I didn't even cap this one, right? This one was, right, advanced summon, right? Then you end up getting the middle chests here, right? We'll get some of the extra cups, some of the other options. Now, a lot of these aren't too difficult. Again, doing the force teleport lord, you can probably do that in 5 minutes, right? Just with some inactive people that are near you at very low level where you can one hit. Doing the multiple sales, right? The upgrades, doing well of time. Usually that doesn't take a lot to do, right? Defeating one level 1 boss boosts 5 times. That's my new name, boosts. Right, doing 25 purchases in the market. These are not that difficult to do. And then again, right, you'll get some of the additional chests here in the middle, right? So these are kind of smaller tasks. Then we end up kind of getting to the openings here, right, where you get the divine blessings. Now these can actually be pretty decent. You can get some good rewards here. And cool, a little trick too, you can just press and hold and it'll just go fast, so you don't have to click the entire time. I wish I did this after the first chest. Again, I didn't realize it until I just started kind of doing the second one. And then we kind of get here to where some of the rewards are, right? Now, unfortunately, we are kind of seeing back where, you can see here, right, for Charles Gangwis, you get the 60 shards there, but you have to spend. And you have to spend if you want the 1,000, right? I remember we used to be able to get some of these for free that were in some of the other seasonal events, right? You can see some of the other ones you have to spend a little bit for here, right? Obviously, you can get some of the philo stones from some of these divine crystals. I think we only have 2 right now, but you can see here there's 2 divine crystals there. Let me see here how many more we're going to get. We'll get up to 5 divine crystals. Okay, so we'll get up to 10 divine crystals overall. Right, that means that arguably we could do 10. We could do 5 philo stones out of 20 that you could get. The chest are here, though probably the best one really is going to be that out of the 10. Right, you can't even get the 50 or the 120 here for the extra shards. So you can get 5 philo stones here. You can do 5 of the superior chest, 5 of the 3 hours, right? The philo stones are probably the best ones once you end up getting those. But again, you're still left with 15. This is one of those things where, and again, it's not a slight, but it is, I think, a good constructive criticism is that, right, we get a little bit of a taste from 2 events that they came out with. And who knows if those were already pre-planned or if they made adjustments based on the community's feedback. But we got 2 kind of small tastes of seasonal events or just additional events right before this one where we were able to pretty much get everything, even though the rewards weren't like the creme de la creme, kind of like they are this event and from some of the other bigger seasonal events that we've seen. But we were still able to get everything if you just grinded a little bit as a free-to-play. Now it's kind of going back to the standard thing that we've seen, right? And like we've talked about, you can still gate some of the rewards off, but at least allow for, even if it's just 1, right? A great example is, have 2 of the chests here be available. Allow for 1 of the chests to be able to be got from, or to be able to be earned from free-to-play means, and then allow for a second chest to be done. Right? Same thing with these, right? Allow 1 of these, but maybe you give a bonus chest to the people who want to spend, right? An opportunity for them to get those. So again, there are other ways of doing it where you can still appeal to some of the spenders who want to get a little bit more, right? And maybe you don't spend that much to get some of the stuff, just depending on how they do it. But it is one of those important things. And sure, don't get me wrong, it's great that we can get a free Epic Immortal, right? Great that we get the chances of getting some of these, but it is a little bit of a slap in the face when you think about the kind of inconsistent trends that we've seen from Infinity Kingdom when it comes to some of events that we are able to get everything, and then other events that we can only get maybe about a third of the goods, right, that it comes across as. So if there's consistency that we end up seeing in the future, that's the most important thing. And that's really why I say that I think it's really important that that is what the game is exuding and showing to the community, right? So obviously I'd love to see a little bit more of that. Okay, from there, and I should say I do think it's going to be pretty easy to get at least all of the task rewards that you can complete, but as far as getting all of the actual rewards that we'd like to, unfortunately it's coming up a little short. Okay, now let's touch on some of the new Epic Immortals, right? Then we'll get to some of the new Lord Talents, which I think are actually pretty cool. So some of the new Epic Immortals that we've been seeing. Right, I actually have to scroll all the way down here. So we got Ragnar Lothbrok, right? Who is going to be our... Oh gosh, where is this guy? Where do I see all his stuff? Oh, here we go. My bad, it's at the bottom of the screen. I always forget about that. So this is going to be our backline water champ. And this is causing physical damage of a rate of 60. This is 60 to 200% to enemies in an area, and also increases the physical damage they receive by 9%. This goes up to 30. It's not bad, actually, for 6 seconds. If the target has been chilled, the value of damage taken increased. The value of damage taken increased debuff is increased by another 20%. Wow, that means that it can actually go up to 50% then. For that, wow. So you basically kind of have to debate, right? Are you going to go with, are you still going to kind of be using Merlin, right, for the double chill, or would you possibly swap Rundito and then Lothbrok as your backline? Because you have, let's see real quick what the comparison is. It's just interesting. So you're looking at, what was it, like a 200% damage rate? And then here we're at 520, but you can increase this by 50%, right? That gives you 260, so you're looking at 780, right? So 780% damage here if you get the chill proc. Otherwise, it's 520 default. And then if we go back to him, we can see here at 200% for the damage rate. That's causing physical damage, though, of course, not the magic that Merlin causes. And then you also have, it also increases the physical damage they receive by 9, right, for 6 seconds up to 30%, or it could go up to 50%. It's interesting. It's not bad. Again, something to kind of test with, right, and kind of see how that goes, but really interesting. Bjorn, I think we already talked about him. Muhammad's the new one here. Now, cool thing with, right now, if we talk about kind of Ragnar, right, you can get Ragnar at LOF, right? This is obtained opening from the Ancient Relic chests, and then, of course, special bundles whenever that comes around. Now, Muhammad, you can actually get from Hall of Immortals, which is nice, right, that they're adding some more there. Of course, you can only get them via fragments. And then we look at his skill, right? And again, this is a Frontline Earth Spearman. Removes all debuffs you have and deal physical damage of a rate of 180 up to 600. Wow, that actually isn't bad. To the enemy directly ahead. Oh, interesting. So this is enemy. That means maybe it's one and not enemies. If the enemy dodges this damage, the skill will cast again immediately without consuming energy and deals 30% increased damage and cannot be dodged. Interesting. So the damage... Oh, wow. Wild. So it's almost like you're hoping for a dodge. This actually isn't bad. Wow, because you get... It doesn't consume energy and deals 30%. So that means it has a chance... Wow, this almost feels like it has a chance to chain if I'm reading this right. To the enemy... I mean, it will chain if it gets multiple dodge procs. But if not, you can kind of do a back-to-back if you do get the dodge proc, right? I mean, I'm sure there might be a delay. But, wow. Okay, it's actually not bad. And it removes all debuffs you have. Oh, well, debuffs you have as the individual. Okay, but still, I mean, you can almost view this as kind of like a nuker skill, especially if you get the back-to-back dodge. Interesting. Muhammad's not bad, man. Not bad. Not bad from the read. Okay. Atalanta. Yo, it's the girl. Ride your bear. Come on, Balto. We can do it. So for here, this is Atalanta's going to be added to King of the Hill. Oh, nice. So they're going to finally be adding someone else to King of the Hill. Oh, and daily deals. Okay. Let's see her skill. Again, this is Backline Wind. Entering the sniper's stance for 10 seconds reduces 25%, reducing 20% attack speed and gaining a 50% increased normal attack damage Every normal attack has a 30% chance of piercing the target and cause damage to the enemy behind the target. So we have 30 up to 100% chance of piercing every normal attack. Wow. So it's basically kind of like cleave, I guess, where it's doing kind of, you hit, then it does an extension hit, or a side one. For 10 seconds, reduces 24% attack speed and gaining 50% increase in normal attack damage every normal. Wow. I mean, this isn't bad. You could, it's interesting because you could almost use this in a way where you would kind of use like Alex, right? Kind of taking advantage of the higher damage, higher attack speed, and you kind of factor that into Atalanta for when she goes in to her skill usage. This actually isn't bad. I could see some combos there. Okay. Then we get here for Hammurabi. I don't think we covered Hammurabi. So we got King of the Hill and Daily Deals. And he's going to be backline for wind. Or lightning, excuse me. But he's magic. Summons the code of Hammurabi and casts judgment to all enemies, inflicting magical damage, rate of 175 up to 350. And this is going to be for cause damage rate increased by 15%. Every negative effect the enemy units have will cause damage. Interesting. Okay. Cause the damage rate to increase. Okay, got it. So I mean at max you're looking at what? 60? So it can go up to 410 at max level. Cast judgment on all enemies, but it's an AoE. Okay. So basically it's just an AoE. It's kind of like Merlin. Nothing really added on to that. Okay, we got Matilda and Sundiok. I think we talked about Sundiok for the back line here. Shoot a fierce arrow that concentrates the power of a phoenix, deals physical damage rate 195 to the current target, goes up to 650. That's not bad. To the current target for the next 6 seconds, an explosion will trigger whenever the enemy receives one critical attack. Cause physical damage to all. Ooh, wow, that's not bad. So once the skill hits for the next 6 seconds, if a crit happens, then it will cause physical damage to all enemy units. And that rate goes up. Wow, that's actually not bad. That is not bad. Okay, and let me see. How can we get her? So this is Hall of Immortals, which is awesome. Probably is going to be Fragments. Oh, you can get her an LOF as well. And then Hammurabi, we're looking at King of the Hill Daily Deals. And then we got Matilda, which is the second wind one outside of Atalanta. Ooh, but support. Interesting. So this is probably going to be a heal-based. That would be pretty cool. Let's see here. Increases all allies' energy regen speed by 6% up to 20 for 9 seconds. And for every damage dealt by their ultimate skill, it gains a up to 20% damage increase effect that lasts 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds, stacking up to 3 effects. Interesting. Well, it is 6 seconds, 20. Okay, for every damage you dealt by the ultimate skill, it gains a 6%. Okay, stacks up to 3 effects. Interesting. So I wonder if that means 3 effects that you can use this, or if it's stacking 3 times. Right, like does that mean it would go, what, 27 seconds? Or does that just mean that the damage increase in these stats would triple, which means you'd be seeing up to 60%? Interesting. I'll have to ask on that, unless someone knows, and maybe you've already tested. But again, it's not bad because you're focusing, instead of kind of going heal, it's focusing more on the energy regen, which is a different support. I don't know if anyone else does AoE energy regen besides Matilda, but that's not bad. So Legion of Frostborn, you can get her. Okay, cool. So the last area we're going to touch on now is going to be Lord Talents. And I actually think some of these are really interesting, right? So if you sort of the bottom, they basically just added 2 extra rows for development and military. And let's start with development. So now, right, and obviously this is good for you to reset. You should reset your skills. That's another important thing, so you can actually go and do these. You can do Dragon's Treasure, right, which decreases gold used for dragon upgrades up to 5%. Then we have Well Fed, decreases resources used for training troops up to 5%. And then we end up getting Prosperous Trading, right? I actually personally like, I think, Dragon's Treasure a little bit more here. Again, just because of lowering the gold cost, right? Especially once you get to like lower level 40, which I'm sure you might have saw I got to finally, right? You can start gathering from the higher tiles at 9. It's not that bad when you're doing the T5, right? It's not as bad as it initially was. So I actually value kind of holding the gold here because that'll help you also raise boost levels for your other immortals. So I personally like that over the training, in my opinion. Then we get prosperous trading, daily market refresh attempts increased by 20. Now that's not free market, right? It doesn't say free. It just says the daily market refresh attempts. Tactical retreat, gather. Your gathering troops will immediately return when they are attacked. This is okay. I feel like that might be more useful in Frostborn, more so than it probably is in your home kingdom unless you're fighting. And then we have effortless. Attacking gnome bosses no longer consumes AP. This to me is a no-brainer, right? Effortless is the one to take there. Then we get to the military side. You got strong will and Immortals resilience increased by 6 up to 30. You have accuracy here for target lock goes up to 30. These are actually pretty good. I mean, I think possibly some people might take resilience here over accuracy just to maybe try and negate some of the crit from fire or some of the other comps that are focusing more on crit. But it will be interesting to see which ones are used. Chronic pain when attacking enemy territory, reduce the number of wounded troops, turning into seriously wounded troops by 40%. This to me seems really good if you're trying to save on the amount of heal that you'll do over a period of time. When attacking enemy territory, you no longer need to destroy the city wall to achieve victory. Win by surprise is interesting because I wonder if it means that, like, if you're able to basically beat their comp, you won't succumb to the wall if you're like barely have any more HP left. And then we have skillful. When defending against an enemy attack, automatically deactivates enemy meditation talent. Also, your back row mortals energy regen speed is increased by 10%. Right, so this is kind of more of like your triangle based, right? Your rock paper scissors, so to speak. I actually kind of like chronic pain here just for reducing the amount of heal, but again, I can see some of these being used as well in their own situations. I'd love to know what you guys think, right, about some of the new skills. What do you think about the seasonal event? And then of course, what do you guys think about some of the new immortals, right? The new epic immortals that we're seeing come out. I'm happy to see that we're getting a few more in the Hall of Immortals, even if it's just slow fragment gains until you can eventually unlock. That is nice to see. I do like some of the new Lord talents, especially the ones on the development side. I'm really curious to finally start not using any AP for the gnome bosses. I think that's a big win. But of course, would love to hear what all of you think, right, about any of the 3 topics that we touched on today. Let me know in the comments down below. That's it for me. Until next time, I'll catch you later.